Hindi ako tutol sa paglabas ng SALN. Kasi hindi lang ako may tutol eh. Nakalimutan ni Senator Pangilinan na siya sa Senado. At sila mismo sa Senado ay may sariling guidance
Naku po!
na hindi mo pwede labas ang SALN ng isang senador kung walang consent yung senador. Diba? Kailangan may consent bawat isa eh. This is the requirement actually of the Data Privacy
Hello,
Act. That's why I was surprised when he said that.
Bago natin umpisahan ang ating talakayan, gusto ho muna nating batiin ng maligayang kaarawan itong si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Palakpakan. Ayun na nga dito sa video na to, pag-usapan naman ho natin yung naging one-on-one interview nitong si Ma'am Pinky dito kay retired Ombudsman Samuel Martires. Ano pa nga ba tatalakayin nila? Ito ho yung ika nga pinalutang na secret decision nitong si Boying Remulla. At sasabulin niya ho ulit itong si Boying na kung saan ang trabaho ng isang ombudsman hindi magpa-interview mayat-maya. Hindi mayat-maya ay nagpapa-press con sa mga media. Mayat-maya binabanatan sa yung mga kalaban sa politika noong taong nag-appoint sa kanya. Pero bago yan, isang like at isang subscribe. Masaya na ho tayo dyan sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community. Yung join button, nandyan lang ho sa baba. Ayun na nga, rekta ho tayo dito sa video na to nitong si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Sinusubaybayan ho kasi natin itong si Senator Alan. Pwede nyo ho siyang batiin dito sa video na to at pwede din ho kayo magpunta diyan sa kanyang live na yan sa kanyang FB page. Alan Peter Cayetano. Yan ho ang pangalan ng kanyang FB page. I-follow nyo na rin ho para pagka meron ho siyang bagong upload inyo ho siyang mapapanood kaagad. At dito sa page update, syempre mag-subscribe ho muna kayo. Tapusin nyo ho muna tong video na to bago ho kayo magpunta dito kay Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Okay?
I honor my mother. Sabi nga nila po, pagka may birthday, ang batiin yung nanay. Nanay ko nagturo sa akin ito. Sabi ng mami ko, pag may birthday, batiin mo yung nanay. Siya naman naghirap. So, happy giving birthday sa aking nanay bukas. So, yesterday naman po, such a joyous and glorious and touching time with All for Christ Church. 43 years sila. So, pag nagse-celebrate tayo, likha sa atin na mag-thank you sa Panginoon, di ba? To have a heart of gratitude. Pero, pag stress tayo, pag problematic, pagka may nirarush tayo, pag masama pakiramdam natin, pag meron pong kalungkutan sa atin, will we find it in our heart, no? So, Eduardo, good evening sa iyo. Jing Dison, sorry. Birthday ko bukas. Pero ang binabati ko, nanay ko, kasi siya naman naghirap. So sabi kasi po ng mami ko, ang nanay naman naghirap, so bakit ang binabati natin yung may birthday? But obvious naman natin bakit binabati natin may birthday kasi we celebrate yung purpose ng Panginoon. We celebrate that human being made in God's image was born. From Europe, bumabati sa atin. Sorry, ang bilis. Edwin Itak, good evening sa iyo. Isay Bulagay, Eduardo Jing Dison, yan. Pastor Rehum Favor, good evening sa inyo. Carms Morin, Maya Bernardo, yan. So, medyo may lakad pa po ako with some close friends, no?
Yan.
Maglalakad-lakad lang po kami. But I wanted to say hi, start with gratitude in our heart, and just remind everyone, anuman hirap ang ating pinagdadaanan, no? Hindi tayo bibigyan ng pagsubok ng Diyos na hindi natin kakayanin. And when we approach everything with gratitude, kahit na yung think of something na hindi mo ma-imagine that you will say, thank you, Lord. But sinasabi pa rin natin, thank you, Lord, di ba? Thank you, Lord, na mapagdadaanan ko to, na kakayanin ko to. Alam ko, Lord, may blessing dito, hindi ko lang makikita. So, when we start out that way, we open so much doors, no? But the topic I want to talk about, I'll try later tonight, but maybe tomorrow. Di ba, in the last 10 months na, no? 10 months, simula nung start natin yung Cayetano in Action CIA 365, ay atin pong binabanggit yung vision, purpose, plan, anong goals natin, pagiging purpose-driven, yung paano magkaroon ng disiplina, tamang habits. So one thing I want to talk about is focus and also targets. papasok dyan yung purpose, discipline. Pero yun muna, yung focus muna, di ba? Kasi magulo na yung mundo,
Yan.
marami pang gumugulo sa atin,
Mm.
minsan magulo yung araw, linggo, buwan natin, so minsan nawawala yung focus. So pag nawala focus, minsan yung bullseye or target nawawala din. Mea Bernardo, good evening sa iyo. Ronnie Casas, Xiao Xiao Melon. Yan. Mike Belizar. Yan, dami pong mga ano dito, mga regular. Dalia sa Iligan City. Maayong gabi sa kaninyong tanan, sa tanan ng mga taga Mindanao at mga Bisaya. Daghan salamat sa inyong suporta. Kinahanglan ng daghan pang prayers ang ating bansa, ang tanan ng mga senators, sa kaguluhan na dinadaanan ng ating bansa. May disruption pero meron din pong parating na revival. May good news na kasama
Good
yan
news,
sa
good
dulo.
news.
Cathy De Villiers sa ating mga youth sa Signal Village at sa inyong church. Good
Yan ho sana yung tipong mentalidad ng mga leader natin ngayong mga panahon na to, kagaya nitong si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Sana ganito ho lahat ng leader natin, no? Kaso ano ho yan ika nga ang mga nangyayari ngayon sa ating bansa binubuksan lang ho ng ika nga ng Panginoon ng ating kamalayan, kaisipan na pag sa susunod na ating pagpili ng susunod na leader ng bansa na to, hindi na natin piliin yung mga kandidato na mayroong Marcos sa apelyido, sa pangalan.
evening sa inyo. Chris Cruz, good evening. Thank you very much, Catherine Ferrer Jimenez. So usually po hindi ako nagsa-celebrate. Simula nung kinasal kami ni Lani, bihira po ako mag-celebrate. Pero ikukwento ko sa inyo, mamaya or tomorrow, we started celebrating early this year. Doon muna tayo sa Camp Bangundiwa. We try to have an outreach with our persons deprived of liberty. Tapos that night, may napanood ako sa Facebook na isang kaibigan, asawa nung very close na friend, si Dr. Joyce, na kikita ko enjoy talaga yung barkada nila. May 80s sila na dance instructor. So sinubukan namin nag-dinner and then konting sayawan. Thank you, Otep Banyas! And congratulations kay Kuya Danny at sa buong organizing group ng Manila Art. Another very, very successful year. Thank you, paring Otep, sa mga not only your artwork, pero yung pag-advertise mo talaga. Kinet Z, shout out and God bless you. Maha V. Carino, good evening. William Roses, thank you very much. So guys, pag-isipan nyo muna, what do we need to focus on? Diba? So, kayo ba may vision na sa inyong buhay, sa buhay ng inyong pamilya? May vision ba kayo sa country? Kung kayo are active sa Parent Teachers Association, anong vision nyo sa school? Kung kayo po ay active sa Homeowners Association, anong vision nyo sa lugar nyo? Kung ikaw ay active sa barangay, anong vision mo sa barangay mo, no? And dun sa vision nyo, syempre, purpose-driven, may mga goals. Anong focus talaga? At kumbaga, anong tuturing nyo bullseye? Anong tuturing nyo na kumbaga tumama pa rin na near the bullseye? Pero kumbaga kung nagda-darts kayo, di ba? Ano yung bullseye? At ano naman yung parang ni walang tinamaan, di ba? It's good now and then to think about this. I know it's Monday. Usually more, tayo, discerning and more parang what if pagka-weekend. Pero maganda din sa start of the week, isipin natin. So, isang binabasa ko yung parang we should have daily goals. Hindi lang life goals, hindi lang goal na nasa college ako, goal na nasa trabaho ko ngayon for the month, but dapat daw meron din tayong goals every day or mga to-do list, no? So pag-isipan po natin yung mga yan para when we discuss focus and when we discuss yung mga kung anong bullseye or ng mga goal setting natin, mas mapapaganda. Thank you po sa mga taga Zamboanga City. Ayan, may pa-Gcash daw.
Ayun na nga mga kababayan, sana lahat nakabati na dito kay Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Dito sa bahagi ng video natin na to, dumako na ho tayo dito sa one-on-one interview nitong si retired Ombudsman Samuel Martires dito kay Ma'am Pinky. Ano ho yan mga kababayan binubugbog kasi itong si Ombudsman Martires Yes, your secret decision. Yan ang problema sa mga taong kagaya nitong mga nasa administration na to. Di ba? Pagka pumalpak sila, pagka nagmukha silang anga, engot, kengkoy, sinisisi nila sa iba. Di ba? Kasalanan ba naman ni Ombudsman na Martires yung pagiging bida-bida nitong si Remulla na hindi man lamang chinek yung case management system ng Ombudsman? Nandun naman pala yung mga dokumento na yan. Nung napahiya na, bigla siyang kumambi pa atras. Secret decision. Ayan. Ito, pakinggan nun natin mga kababayan. Yay!
Samuel Martires. Sir, good to see you again. It's been a long time. Welcome to the show.
Good evening.
How have you been?
Nananahimik na tong si Ombudsman Martires eh. Itong si Boying Remulla talagang palong-palo pa siya sa kakabira eh, no?
I know that there's been some interviews with you, as even here this morning, and that term secret decision, secret ruling, it did not sit well with you. And in fact, meron din mga maanghang na salita kayong nabigkas dahil dito. What happened, sir? Was it a secret decision?
There is no secret decision in the Office of the Ombudsman. There is what we call in the Ombudsman the Case Complaints and Case Monitoring System, CCMS. Once a complaint is filed before the Office of the Ombudsman, the Central Records Division would immediately encode that complaint into the system. And then the complaint undergoes what we call the case evaluation. After the case evaluation, if the recommendation is for fact-finding investigation, it is referred to the two bureaus of the Field Investigation Office. If the recommendation is to have the case immediately subject to preliminary investigation, it is given to the Preliminary Investigation Office. It is raffled. Okay.
After that, raffled.
After
Okay.
that, raffled to a particular investigator. In the case of Joel Villanueva, at the time of Justice Carpio Morales, Justice Morales issued a decision sometime, I think, during the last week or last few days of October. She issued a decision dismissing Joel Villanueva from the service. That decision of Justice Morales, immediately Joel Villanueva, within the 10 days prescriptive period, filed this motion for reconsideration. Per the records that was given to me, Joel Villanueva received a copy of the dismissal order on November 2, 2016. On November 7, 2016, he filed his motion for reconsideration. Unknown probably to Ombudsman Morales, she did not act on that motion for reconsideration.
Oh,
I do not blame her for that. Because when a motion for reconsideration is filed, the Ombudsman does not know anything about it. It goes immediately, it is filed with the records, Central Records Division. The Central Records Division forwards it together with the records to the handling investigator. So unless the handling investigator will notify his or her director and the assistant ombudsman concerned, and the assistant ombudsman will tell the ombudsman will not know anything about it.
Okay.
The only reason I discovered about this motion for reconsideration is that about a few months after I assumed office in 2018, I asked for a ombudsman-wide inventory of cases.
What is that?
I have to inventory all pending cases before the office of the ombudsman. So doon namin nakita, mayroon pa ng pending motion for
Nako.
reconsideration.
So this is already
Itong si Morales baka talagang, di ba? Hindi talaga niya pinansin yung motion na yan kaya umabot pa dito kay Ombudsman
in
Martires.
2018.
2018.
Naku.
That's right. Okay.
Okay. So I asked my assistants to have this to follow up this motion for reconsideration. Another case is similarly situated. The motion for reconsideration was finally recommended for approval on July 31, 2019
July 31.
by the Graft Investigation Officer. Then it was approved by the Director of the Bureau and recommended to me for approval sometime in, I think, July.
That cannot be. You said July 31, 2019, there was a decision. And it was asked for your approval. It cannot be in July 2. Hindi pwede.
No,
Sabi
no.
niyo po July 31 yung
No,
decision.
July 31 is the date when the Graft Investigation Officer finalized.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? July 31.
Nako,
The Assistant Ombudsman forwarded the same to
parang hindi ko gusto yung dating na yun nitong si Ma'am Pinky, yung pagka-clarify doon sa mga facts, hindi ko gusto yung dating. Parang dapat ata ang ini-interview ni Ma'am Pinky dito sa video na to si Ombudsman Boying Remulla. Hindi itong si Ombudsman Samuel Martires
to me, September,
bihira
August,
talaga.
July. I
Naman.
think a few days after it was submitted to her, and then I approved it sometime in September of 2019. 2016, I think
Ang talas ng utak nitong si Ombudsman Martires, no? Itong si retired Ombudsman Martires. Ang galing ho niya. Tayo nga, yung ginawa natin kahapon, hindi na natin maalala eh. Ito, 2019 pa to, 2018 pa tong mga inaano niya na to, mga inaalala niya.
I approved it,
Malas.
and then on 2017, we informed the Senate of the existence of the...
Sorry, sir. Sorry, medyo nagkakagulo na po tayo sa dates.
Ah.
This is very important because there's, I think, a prescriptive period by which a ruling, an MR has to be resolved.
Yes.
This is very important because basically from your last statement, you said that there was a finalized decision on July 31, 2019. Tapos pagkatapos sabi niyo po, you must have decided on this sometime September 2019.
Approved.
Approved, okay. Kasi bumalik po kayo sa 2018. Okay, approved on 2019. All right,
2019.
September. And then, that's it.
That's it.
Okay. September 19 would be the date that the MR was decided upon, wherein you reversed the decision of the former ombudsman.
Yes.
Is this well within the 2-year prescriptive period by which an MR should
There is no
resolve?
prescriptive
There's
period
none, sir.
in the Office of the Ombudsman. This is the problem, actually. The Office of the Ombudsman is just performing executive functions. We call it executive functions because it only conducts preliminary investigation. The Office of the Ombudsman is not a regular court. The prescription of the Constitution that cases must be decided, speedy disposition of cases must be decided, refers to cases pending before the courts.
And
The
this is
two-
not a court. The ombudsman,
The
is
ombudsman
not
is
a
a
court.
court.
Okay.
The ombudsman is just like the prosecutors of the Department of Justice. Okay. The one who said it should be decided within 2 years is not the law. It is the Supreme Court and its decision. That the ombudsman, any decision of the ombudsman beyond the 2-year period is considered as inordinate delay. Okay. Funny thing is, last year, or I think this year,
Sorry, sir. Were you a member of the Supreme Court when it ruled that any decision by the Supreme Court must be, the ombudsman must be decided upon within the 2-year period, otherwise kung hindi po ay inordinate delay?
inordinate delay.
Miyembro mo ba kayo ng Supreme
Not yet.
Court?
No, it all started with the Tatad doctrine.
Okay.
Tatad has 3 years. The ombudsman was given by the Supreme Court 3 years to complete its preliminary investigation. Then, in Kagang, I think, I was member of the court, but I refused to sign. I think it went to 2 years.
Okay.
But this is a Supreme Court decision telling the ombudsman what to do.
And is
Okay?
that wrong?
If the Supreme Court says in one case that it cannot, there is no inordinate delay with respect to decisions or preliminary investigations of the Department of Justice, then why is it that it is wrong for the ombudsman, to go beyond the 2-year period? Okay. You cannot compare cases before the Office of the Ombudsman with cases pending before the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice, they have murder cases, homicide, staffa. At best or at most, they will be having only about 10 or 20 documents. In Ombudsman, when you're investigating a violation of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, you're talking of hundreds of documents. And a prosecutor is not focused on that particular case. He has other assigned cases. Take a case of family. There are, I think, about 10,000 pages. You have to review each and every voucher with respect to the transactions in family. Who are the signatories? What is the amount involved? So magkaiba yung ginagawa sa ombudsman sa preliminary investigation kaysa ginagawa sa DOJ.
Yan.
Document-laden ang mag-imbestiga ng graft cases. When I was not yet with the Office of the Ombudsman, I had the same question, ba't ang tagal? Especially when I was still with the Sandigan Bayan, I always ask the prosecutors, ba't bang tagal ng inyong investigasyon kasi? Kaya kayo na inordinate delay. I did not understand. I only came to understand when I was appointed as Ombudsman.
But then
Ganun pala.
it's almost, sir, as if you're not following or you're not in agreement with what the Supreme Court said, that more than 2 years is it's inordinate delay. Does it mean that just because nag-ombudsman kayo, ay biglang hindi nyo na po susundin si Supreme Court?
Sinusunod namin. Ang problema is pabago-bago rin ang desisyon ng Supreme Court. Sometimes it's 2 years, sometimes it's 1 year. I think depending on the mood of the justices. I'm sorry to say those things. I might be cited in contempt by the Supreme Court. But that's true. They can look into the decisions on inordinate delay.
So are you saying, Ombudsman, that the Supreme Court at times decides that 2 years is inordinate delay, and then sometimes they'll say that 1 year is inordinate delay? The
Yes.
reason I'm asking that is because it's as if there's no clear and cut decision by the Supreme Court. That's at
Apparently.
least what I'm getting from you.
Apparently. I'll give you a case. The case of, I think, Philcoa, involving Danding Coangco and others. The case was brought to the Supreme Court 30 years ago on certiorari. So the one that was pending before the Office of the Ombudsman at the time of Justice Carpio Morales, they decided to archive the case because there is the case before the Supreme Court was not moving. Then about last year, the Supreme Court said, there is no case. The Ombudsman must now dismiss the case because it has been sleeping in the Office of the Ombudsman for 30 years. Hindi ho sa Ombudsman natulog yung kaso sa Supreme Court. Sino kami para lumaban sa Supreme Court? That is it.
Okay. Let's go back to this case, sir.
Naku.
Because if
Talagang talagang tutok na tutok sila dito sa particular na kaso na to ni Senator Joel Villanueva. Ngayon, yung bilyong-bilyong issue ng korupsyon sa flood control, tila bagang nagpi-fade na. Nawawala na ho. Kumbaga na yung diversionary, yung na-master ho nila yung art of diversion, higa nga. Di ba? Master ho nila dito sa administration na to. Kuwang-kuha ho nila. Tapos pagka gumalaw sila, lahat ng galamay nila sa media, iisa lang yung ini-SS nila. Yung issue lang na yan, nitong dismissal ng mga problema nitong si Senator Joel.
If
Palongki.
I were to go back to October 2016, decision of
My
Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales, nag-MR po si Senator Joel Villanueva within 10 days. He received it November 2, nag-MR po siya November 7. So we'll stop the clock there at November 7, 2016. This is important, sir, because basically the decision of the Ombudsman yourself was finalized September 2019.
2019.
Ibig sabihin po, 3 taon ito, more or less. 2 years.
3 taon natulog sa Ombudsman. But not during my time.
Yes, kasi 2018 po kayo
Pumasok, oo.
Okay. Pero ibig ko sabihin, in terms of this inordinate delay na 2 years supposed to be, now you're saying there are other decisions. If we were to understand the 2-year inordinate delay, lumampas na po ito sa 2 years between you
Yeah.
and the former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales. Would that be correct, sir?
Well, I don't think we will fall under that category of inordinate delay. Why? Because the decision is favorable to Joel Villanueva. So Joel Villanueva will not be crazy enough to go up to the Supreme Court and say,
There's inordinate delay.
there is inordinate delay, so my case should be dismissed. Dinismiss na ng ombudsman.
All right. So, kasi sa kanya manggagaling yung question on
Yes.
inordinate delay, the person who is the subject of the case. So, let's go back to the question on the issue on secret decision. Bakit ho ba, alam ko po sinagot nyo na to, pero kailangan lang pong ulitin, why was this not publicized?
Okay. The Constitution says that matters or decisions arising from cases that were investigated by the Ombudsman has to be publicized under certain circumstances. That is also what the Ombudsman Act says, that under circumstances, the Ombudsman shall publish the decisions. So who decides under what circumstances, under what conditions must the Ombudsman? So meaning to say, this is the discretion of the Ombudsman when he is going to publish a particular decision.
Why did you decide not to publish it?
Well, I really don't know why I did not decide to have it published. That's about 9 years ago. I really can't remember why, but there must have been some reason why I did not have it published, because I never really have any decision published, and these reporters would ask me about a particular case, and kasi minsan mga reporter may mga tips sila eh. Justice, tapos na raw ang decision sa ganito. So I will check, and sasabihin nila, can we have a copy of the decision? I will ask the Media Bureau, give them a copy of the decision.
But this is a high-profile case, sir. You obviously know that. Ibabalik po yung tanong sa inyo na ombudsman kayo eh. Tanod bayan kayo eh. Kayo dapat ang nag-check ng corruption dito po sa mga elected officials. This is a case supposedly of the PDAF scam, not supposedly, it's the PDAF scam, it's a pork barrel scam to the tune of 10 million pesos that was supposedly, well, hindi po nagamit sa tama. In the same manner that the corruption scandal, the flood control scandal is taking center stage right now. In other words, Ombudsman, it's a big case. It's Joel Villanueva. It's Senator Joel Villanueva. Why didn't you just publicize it? Because pag kayo po ay natanggal na doon, magtataka din po, didn't you think this was going to happen? Na bigla na lang po, sandali lang, ba't kaya hindi sinabi ni Ombudsman Samuel Martires na na-reverse na yung decision kay Senator Joel Villanueva?
I really don't know the reasons why I did not have it published. But siguro naging ugali ko na hindi ako mahilig mag-publish ng mga decisions ko. Probably that's my temperament as a former member of the judiciary. But looking back, I don't think there is a necessity to publish this. Because, you know, the critics of Joel Villanueva will not really believe the defenses of Joel Villanueva. In much the same way that Justice Carpio Morales also did not believe in the defenses of Joel Villanueva. He raised two defenses. One, the
Signature.
signature is forged, and the other one is he is not a member of the Buhay Party List. Paano namin kukontrahin yung findings ng question documents of the National Bureau of Investigation? The National Bureau of Investigation says the signatures are not similar. It's forged. Do I have to hire an expert to just say that is not a forged signature? This is no longer prosecution. This is persecution.
All right. And, Ombudsman, we just need to take a very short break. We'll be right back.
Ayun na nga mga kababayan, ano na ho natin to, i-forward na natin. Wala hong nakuha itong si Ma'am Pinky dito doon sa round 1. Dito ho tayo sa round 2. Oh, wala pa rin ho tayong naririnig na kung saan talagang tinatalakay yung mga magnanakaw dyan sa congressman. Kung ano ba, at kung sakaling, kasi tanong niya, kung sakaling kayo ang ombudsman ngayon na Ombudsman Martires, anong gagawin niyo dito sa mga issue ng flood control? Yung mga ganun tanong ba? Si Joel, my goodness. Magkano ba yung napabalitang kinasangkutan nitong si Joel Villanueva noong mga panahon na yun? Dito ho, flood control, bilyon ang pinag-uusapan natin. Daang bilyon ang pinag-uusapan natin. Di ba, hindi ko sinasabing okay na yan, tapos na yan. Hindi. Makulong ang mga dapat makakulong. Pero focus ho tayo one issue at a time. Ika nga, hindi ho na pwedeng pagsabay-sabay niyan. Kay Joel Villanueva tayo ngayon. Kay Jingo Estrada tayo mamaya. Kay Congressman Paulo Duterte tayo ngayon, di ba? Kay VP Sara tayo. Hindi, focus muna tayo. Flood control project, flood control mesh, ika nga.
Joel, because you reversed the decision. Sabi mo nga, kung magka-inordinate delay issue should be coming from Senator Joel. But wasn't that a disservice to two segments? One, to Senator Joel Villanueva, because you could have easily said that, tapos na yung kasong yan, binaliktad ko na, at yun po kahit papano makakatulong or hindi sa kanya. Because right now, sir, because hindi niyo po pinablicize yan, you didn't publish, you can go on X and all that, and it'll say, meron ka pang kaso sa PDAF, dapat tanggal ka sa pwesto, dapat wala ka doon. Hindi ho ba nagkulang kayo sa kanya, number one? And number two, hindi ho ba kayo nagkulang din sa publiko dahil this is of national importance. It's important to the Filipino people. It is, after all, the people's money. Again, as mentioned a while ago, this is something that we're very all interested in.
Yes, I understand. I know that. As I said, I really don't know what made me decide not to have it publicized. But I am so sure that we informed the Senate about this. Joel Villanueva knew also about it. Why he did not have it published? Dapat matuwa siya, di ba? Ni-reverse yung kay Carpio Morales. Bakit hindi niya pinablish din? Bakit hindi niya binigay sa reporters? The only instance he was talking about the reversal was in 2022 when he was running for re-election. That was the time he was talking about the reversal of the decision. So nagtataka rin ako, bakit hindi siya napakadali, bibigyan mo lang sa reporter, oh?
Why didn't you, sir? How
No,
about
si
you?
Joel,
Yeah, I
said,
know. But why didn't you? Nung nagtataka po kayo, why didn't you? You were still...
Nagtaka lang ako noong, ito ngayon lang. Nagtataka, bakit noon, I was asking, mayroon ba lumabas sa dyaryo? Sabi nila, mayroon. Kailan? 2022. So nagtataka.
Parang matindi-tindi yata yung pressure nitong si Ma'am Pinky dito sa isa na to. Sabi siguro nung boss niya, ano ba yan? Bakit wala pa tayong dapat may mapiga ka dyan kay Martires. Pambihira, oo. Diba, pabalik na tayo dyan sa issue ng flood control.
Nagtataka ko, bakit wala bang 2019? I kept on searching. Wala bang 2019 na nilabas si Joel Villanueva that his case was decided by Conchita, was reversed by the present ombudsman? Wala eh. It was only in 2022 when he started talking about it.
Did you think, sir, that there's a lot, I guess, that has come out since your retirement, di ho ba? You retired July 27. Una-una, of course, yung SALN, much talked about that there were prohibitions by the Ombudsman Samuel Martires para makuha yung mga SALN. I know that, sabi mo nga, sa Supreme Court may certain consent, kailangan ng consent sa House of Representatives, etc. And then the new ombudsman, lifted the restrictions and made it, appears to be easier to get a copy of the SALN. Looking back, sir, do you still stand by that decision of yours to put restrictions
Yes,
in the SALN?
yes.
You don't regret this?
No. Why? The Republic Act 67713 was enacted in 1989. In 2012, we have the Data Privacy Act. So practically, yung sinasabi sa 6713 na i-divulge mo lahat, pati kaluluwa mo, sabi sa Data Privacy Act, ops, hindi po pwede yan. Okay. Well, the new ombudsman says, ilalabas. You're only limited to the salin of the president, the vice president, the
Members. Local officials.
members of the constitutional offices like the ombudsman, the civil service, the COA, the provincial governor, the mayors, yun na councilors.
Vice governor.
Oo. Ngayon, last Saturday, the office of the president said no. It should only be released upon valid and justifiable reasons.
Ouch! Asa na yung sinasabi nitong si Boying Remulla na dapat ay na pinadali yung paglalabas. Hindi naman sinabing diretsahan ni Ma'am Pinky na na talagang pwede na lumabas. It seems, kumbaga parang ang dating pinapakita ang madaling ilinabas. Ilalabas ang salin pero hindi pa rin ho mga kababayan. Yan ang problema kay Boying Remulla. Pagmumukain masama ang nagdang administrasyon dahil dyan sa decision na yan itong si Ombudsman Martires na kung saan sinunod lamang yung decision ng Korte Suprema at ngayon yun din naman pala ang gagawin. Ayoko na. GG. Good game. Paalam sa mga kasama natin ha.
And it should be redacted. So, ibig sabihin, alam din ng Office of the President na you have to also, because this will compromise actually the safety and security of the government official involved. Kung i-release mo lang, kahit sino pwede pwede mag-access sa SALN.
But then, dapat ho bang baguhin si 6713, si Republic Act 6713? I mean, it's quite simple to me as a non-lawyer. Public officials, employees have an obligation to accomplish and submit declarations under oath of, and the public has a right to know their assets, liabilities, net worth, and financial and business interests, including those of their spouses and unmarried children under 18 years old of age living. I can go down, but sir, yun lang ho talaga yung nakasulat eh.
Yes.
Obligation eh.
Yes, that is why I was saying, after I issued that guidelines, because the only requirement I had is get the consent of the government official. I was telling Congress, can we not just amend 6713 na ang magbibigay mismo sa taong bayan yung government official concerned in a redacted form. Hindi mo na kailangan pa pumunta sa ombudsman, pumunta sa judiciary na pahingi ng salin.
Hindi na mo dapat hingin. Dapat siguro they should just present it. There should be a
Precisely,
report.
I was asking Congress about it.
And what did they say?
Siyempre, to protect themselves also.
Okay, do you think that their prohibitions or restrictions were more than what you actually implemented? Kasi that was your first order of business, ni ho ba? When you sat as ombudsman?
Marami naman. But yes, with respect to the SALN, yes.
Yeah.
Ano?
Kasi, sir, ito, idagdag ko lang, kay Senator Kiko Pangilinan, I want to put that up on the screen. Ang sabi niya po, unahin na niya to Ombudsman Remulla, unahin niya ilabas yung SALN ni dating Ombudsman Martires mula nang umupo ito bilang Supreme Court Justice hanggang sa pagbaba nito sa pwesto bilang Ombudsman itong 2025. Baka sakaling magkaalaman na bakit tutol ito sa paglabas ng SALN?
Hindi ako tutol sa paglabas ng SALN. Kasi hindi lang ako may tutol eh. Nakalimutan ni Senator Pangilinan na siya sa Senado. At sila mismo sa Senado ay may sariling guidelines
Naku po!
na hindi mo
Naloko na. Sinagot ho nitong si Ombudsman Martires itong si Kiko Matching.
pwede ilabas ang SALN ng isang senador kung walang consent yung senador. Diba? Kailangan may consent bawat isa eh.
Nako.
This is the requirement of the Data Privacy
Naloko
Act. That's why I was surprised when he said that. As a senator, he should know the laws. Alam niya dapat yung Data Privacy Act has practically amended or repealed the requirements in 6713. Ano bang ginawa kong anomalya? Had he said only na dapat ilabas yung SALN ko, period, okay sa akin. The problem is he went further para magkaalaman. E di sabihin niya, kung mayroon akong anomalya, di kaksawan niya ako. Why did he also just file a SALN of 23 million? Is that believable? Why didn't he let his wife Sharon Cuneta, join or state his assets and liabilities in his salary.
So that's questionable to you.
Yes, because the requirement of 6713 is joint. Whether your wife is in the government or not. Marami ho akong kaibigan, marami ho akong empleyado sa ombudsman o sa ibang ahensya ng mga asawa na sa private pero sinasama yung income ng asawa sa kanilang sa kanilang declaration of assets and liabilities. Bakit sa hindi? Nakatingin ba sa ibang direksyon? He is the one violating 6713 actually, not me.
Naku.
Wala akong tinatago.
Is your SALN readily available, Ombudsman? Or kailangan ho bang hingin ng consent ninyo para ibigay nyo? Or are you ready to just
I can show
forward
I
your
can
SALN?
show it as long as you will promise that you will have it publicized. And it will be redacted with respect to the address and everything. I can account for all my money that I have, and the reason why I issued actually that guideline, that memorandum order number 1 is because I gave to the media my exit silence sa Supreme Court and my entry silence sa Ombudsman. Siyempre, nung ako'y mag-retire sa Supreme Court, wala pa ako natatanggap na pension. Pagpasok ko sa Ombudsman, natanggap ko na yung 5-year pension ko. So talagang tumaas yung salin ko. Sabi ng Philippine Star, Ombudsman richer by X amount in 5 months. Para bang nangurakot ako every month for an X amount. That's not good. So yan ang sinasabi ko, we need to be nice. You try to destroy a public official or employee.
Would you be able to tell us how much you're worth, sir?
Naku.
What,
Kaya mo bang itanong yan kay Boying Remulla? Ay, tinanong nga pala. Pahiya ka, PH, pahiya ka. Tinanong niya si Boying Remulla. Fair. Palakpakan. Palakpakan natin itong si Ma'am Pinky. Tinanong niya. Kaso itong si Boying, marami akong pera. Alam niyo naman, maraming mga di ba? Ganito ganyan, kesyo ganon, di ba? Ganun yung mga banat ni Boying.
what is your net worth?
Now, I really don't know. I forgot.
One question, sir. Siguro one more topic, no? There's been also this order for dalawa po what I'm reading. A total of 204 hires in the Office of Ombudsman are being asked to apply. Otherwise, they will be considered midnight appointees. Ang sabi po ni Ombudsman Remulla, you don't want to be arriving in a place, then all the empty seats you expected for your companions were suddenly filled up. Diretsuhan ng tanong na po, kayo ho ba bago umalis sa Office of Ombudsman, ay nagpasok ho kayo talaga ng daan-daan, lagyan na natin sa 200 or 300 people to fill up these positions?
This is what actually happened, okay? We were filling up vacancies. As we were always the subject of an audit observation memorandum by COA, na maraming bakante sa Ombudsman hindi namin finifilapan. So we started filling up vacancies slowly. Okay. Then, in 2023, I, together with the deputies, decided, or I myself decided, to merge the Field Investigation Office and the Preliminary Investigation Office to speed up the investigation of cases because of this inordinate delay issue. So 2024, August of 2024, I requested the Department of Budget and Management for the creation of 60 lawyer positions from Draft Investigation Officer 1 to 4.
Okay.
It was approved. Okay. When it was approved by the Department of Budget and Management, immediately we asked the Civil Service Commission that it be published. So we had it published. But before that, the Department of Budget and Management gave us this notice of organization and staffing pattern, DINOSCA, in January.
Lahat na lang ho talaga ginawang issue nitong si Boying pagpasok niya dyan sa Ombudsman. As always, dito nung natatapusin ng ating reaction video. Bottom line dito, wala pa rin ho tayong higa nga na pag-usapan kaugnay dyan sa mga maanumalang flood control project ko. Paulit-ulit na mga tinatanong yan ni Ma'am Pinky sa mga ibang na-interview niya. Pero ano lang ho, kumbaga yung issue nitong kay Senator Joel Villanueva, hindi ko alam kung akin lang yun, no, pati sa mga kasama natin dito sa PH Update. Ang dating para sa akin, pilit na pilit. Siguro sa iba hindi pilit, pero para sa atin ang dating pilit na pilit. So always, maraming salamat po sa pag-support sa Peace Update. Mag-ingat po kayong lahat ng Pilipinas. Maraming salamat mga kababayan.